Hello, everyone. I hope you are having a fantastic day today. I truly want to send this energy out into the universe that you find love and abundance today, that you find support where it's needed, and that you take the time to do some self care. I am going to share the most intimate parts of my story in this. I am going to go ahead and say, um, in a bit, this is a trigger warning because these are things that have happened to me. And I feel that talking about them is one, going to help me feel a little bit better. Two, it raises awareness to things that people have experienced that are not okay. And I realize that by putting this in the universe, it's something that I cannot take back. And it's something that I'm okay with because this is my story. And in my life, I've always been a martyr in a sense, because I am okay with being a lesson. Because suffering has purpose, whether we know it or not. It's meant to either test us or show us something of ourselves that we really were like, was that really what I needed to learn from? But, I'm going to go ahead and just preface this by saying, don't let shit happen to you. You're not a victim. You're not a victim. You're a hero. You just don't know your own strength. And I can tell you that if you come from suffering and you choose to go in the opposite direction, I commend you. And if you choose to stay in the same direction, I hope that you realize that through love, self-care, and some personal work with maybe professionals, things can improve. Life is not hopeless. It's not. Even if it feels like it sometimes, it's not. Where do I start? This is where some triggers may happen to some people. You don't have to watch my video, and that's okay. I'm sharing it for education and personal reflection. Last year was one of the most difficult times of my life. I was ready to cast my mortal coil off and fly into the abyss. And then I realized that I have not lived my purpose in life. And that is to heal myself so that I can offer the gifts that I have. So in March of 2021, a relationship that I cherished very much, two actually, ended very abruptly. Was done and over with. And I literally felt my heart split. It was a pain I do not wish for anyone. I lost the person that I loved, and I lost the child that I loved. Not in the sense of death, but in the sense of departure from each other's lives. And when that happened, I chose to find safety in my father. And little did I know that was the worst decision I could have made. I am very thankful that my father supported me and gave me a space that I could heal. I will absolutely acknowledge that. I'll also acknowledge the things that I did wrong. I know that I am not always some key lime pie, which sounds really good right now. But it was a lesson, and it allowed me to confirm some things. And because of this, and other years, I absolutely struggled with paranoia and fear. And unfortunately, fear and paranoia bring us into here when there is a vast world around us and we are so small in it. After that happened, I was able to confirm some things, which has only allowed me to listen to my fears and paranoias, because the pain body, as Eckhart Tolle likes to talk about, is looking for answers and looking to prevent pain, looking to reduce suffering. And in that, we actually create more suffering because we don't allow ourselves to authentically and genuinely express ourselves and be in the moment because we're always looking out for what's coming next. This is just the human brain. It's what it does. It's how we've made it this far. Unfortunately, there's a difference between survival and abuse. Abuse from a caretaker is one of the most, it doesn't just affect them in the moment. And that's why it's so important to be a conscious parent. You are priming these young minds for something that is just like the rest of their life. That means whatever emotion you show and how you display it is what's going to be imprinted on them. I say this because I want parents to understand the importance. Because it is lifelong if you don't handle it. So I moved in with my dad in March. I was a shell of a human being. And I thought that this person was someone that I could trust and would support me. This was not the case. It was very conditional and very destructive to my well-being. So he would throw these things called church. And church was meant to be a judgment-free space for people to use drugs and to feel comfortable. This was the last thing that I honestly needed at this point in my life, but I was so aloof and unaccepting of myself that I really just cast myself into it. I had a fun fucking time, I won't lie. I allowed myself to indulge in many, many impulsive behaviors, many just self-destructive behaviors. And it only got worse. There was a person that moved into our home shortly after I moved there. That was not family. They were what my father viewed as like a potential third in his relationship, unbeknownst to his wife at the time that all this was like going on, and he was trying to develop this intimate conversation and relationship, and would ask me for advice on how to deal with it. And because it was my dad and I wanted him to approve of me, I fucking did it. However, he did not handle rejection well, and this person did not want to be with him. At the time, they wanted to be with me. I did not want to be with them either. And that was when the chaos ensued. That is when the whole family split apart. So this person moved in and took advantage of me when I was sleeping. And it caused some problems. Because once my father discovered this, it was my fault. It was my fault. I was the worst person. I was planning to screw him over, and I was taking advantage of the things that he was giving me. When in reality, 2 weeks in, I wanted this person to go home. I wanted them to leave and truly not come back. They continued to pester me and wanted to sleep next to me and wanted to be doing everything that I was doing. While that sounds lovely, it's not. It's truly not, because then their mood is dictated by how much attention you give them. As someone with borderline personality disorder, I fucking know how annoying that can be. I don't like it that I do it myself sometimes. And it's because I'm looking for safety and I'm trying to find it. But the caveat to that is I'm also quick to burn bridges because I do not want to be hurt. Well, anyways, this all happened. It carried on for I think a month or two, and I literally made up excuses to avoid them. I got 2 jobs, so I was never home. It was just not what I wanted. Well, when they finally were picking up on the vibes, it only took them 3 or 4 months. They came back from what was called Aorta. And Aorta is a fun event where a lot of people get to be themselves. Unfortunately, it was just another venue to do drugs. Yes, there were other things that happened. I wasn't there, so I don't know all of the accessories, but I know there's a pool and it was an open yard and a lot of people who shared love with each other. Now, this person came back and decided to sleep with my brother because my brother had moved home at the time. And they did it right under my room because they were trying to hurt me. But the thing is, I was like, cool, woo, pass the buck, And this caused more issues this caused a separation between my brother and I. And my brother is one of those people that I care about more than anything in this world. He truly has been a best friend in my whole life. Well, they started dating, and of course my brother did not get the same punishment I did. When my dad found out about the things that happened between me and this person, kicked me out. And then I tried to come back to get my things, and he's like, what are you here? Why are you here? And I was just like, why are you being like this? Like, you literally have a wife. It doesn't make any sense. Unfortunately, he's a really jealous person who is very vindictive as well. When your caretaker is like this, it's vindictive and punishing for things that honestly, like, bro, you grown. You're grown. Why are you messing with this shit? Well, anyways, yeah, it caused my whole family to rift, unfortunately. And this led to a lot of circumstances that animal lives were lost. A baby was lost. And it destroyed my brother. Truly. This is the second time in his life that he's experienced something like this, where he's lost a potential offspring. He is not very social now, and if you really want me to break it down, and you take a closer look at me and my siblings, we all struggle with drug addiction, with self-validation, things like that. It was hard. It was really hard. There was a time when my brother was in psychosis, and me and two other friends at the time were trying to calm him down. And my dad just came out there and started like antagonizing him, and even swung at him at one point. And my brother again was in psychosis, which means he's not all there. His rationale and his rational thinking, not all there. And then proceeded to call calm care on them. Now, I said if he's being like this and if he's being super physically aggressive, then we need to do this. You know, it is what it is. We need him to calm down. So he did it, and then he left. He fucking left, and left me to deal with calm care right before I had to go to work. So not only was I trying to de-escalate my brother and also show him that he could still trust me because he felt like everyone betrayed him, we started something and then allowed me to fix it. Super cool, right? Well, then the targeting happened. My dad would rotate between people that he would basically devalue and then treat super shitty. And this was about the time I was like, okay, what is this? What is going on? Well, a couple months later, after we kind of like things kind of died down a little bit, we tried to calm things. You know, my brother and I really didn't go out much. I didn't want to be around people. I just spent time with him because I felt that I couldn't trust a lot of people. And that really sucks because there are some really beautiful people that live here in Wichita. And I mean their soul and in their art that they create. And this led him to make an event to give a place for these people to feel supported. This was called Goth Night. Now, I remember a lot of people being super stoked about Goth Night, having a lot of fun, and also really, really getting a chance to like express themselves. 2 nights before Goth Night, the first Goth Night happened, my dad had sprung on me. He wanted me to watch his wife at the time's kids. I was like, listen, man, I've already been like promoting this. I've already bought a costume. Like, you like just put this on me 2 days before. No. I was like, no, like, I'm not doing this for you because it is not my job to take care of your responsibilities that you have signed up for. And I don't know why my dad was raising us as more kids, because he didn't want kids. He fucking hated us growing up. He told us many times, wish he never had kids. We wanted kids he could be proud of, you know, things like that. Things that like young minds sponge up. And that night, that 2 nights before, I came home and it was about 14 degrees outside. And my dad locked me out and called me all these things, told me that everyone hated me, nobody wanted me there. And like, I wish I could say I didn't internalize it, because I disassociated so hard after I got home. I had 2 ticks of gas, my phone had 2%, and I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna do. He would not let me in. He was sneering at me, telling me all these things, and I was just like, all right, dude, whatever. Like, I'm not dealing with this. So I left. Well, then I came back a couple days. I think it was the day after. I think I came back, and I just was like, whatever. Like, I'm done. That was when I resigned my father as my father, and then I started calling him Doug. Doug is a person in my life. And it really, really hurt to have my father throw me out multiple times over women, over fucking some of his own bullshit that he signed up for. And at that point, I had truly stopped trying to help him. And I warned his wife at the time. I said, you need to get out. I am proud to admit that. I said, you need to get out, because it's not going to change. She would come home every weekend upset. He would stay at her job all night after getting off his own job, and then spend anywhere from $300 to $500 on dancers, dancer drinks, and tipping, because he wanted to be perceived as this great person who's saving these people's lives, so that they would be indebted to him and owe him something, because everything came with a condition. And I'm very serious when I say, if you still interact with him, be wary of that, because you may catch yourself on the other side of some rage. So anyways, I struggle with paranoia for this reason. I had person back to back to back not look after my best interest. And so when I fall into these cycles of paranoia, I'm crazy. I truly will connect dots, because I don't want to be hurt anymore. What I try to embody is love and light, and supporting people who want to be supported. Unfortunately, I did not walk away unscathed. These are things that have plagued me my life, and will probably continue to, and as I work through it. I'm not giving up on myself. I know what I'm worth. I know what I have. And I love people. But they scare me sometimes too, you know? It's difficult. It's difficult to try and love someone past what they've done to you. So I no longer accept that anymore. I don't want that connection. Now, it's made it very difficult for me to interact in the world. I'm being someone that I don't remember being. I don't remember being paranoid and feeling like everyone's going to hurt me. I get into episodes where I think everyone's out to get me or fuck me over. That's the black in my life. Not everyone wants to hurt me, and not all people are bad. These are things that I'm personally working through. And if you struggle or resonate with some of this, you feel free to talk to me. At least being seen and heard is important. Now, the second most traumatic event I want to share. It's a bit personal. It's really personal. With my biological mother, my dad was already starting to see people on the other side. He got married after fucking 3 months with this person. And whatever he says about him not doing anything while they were married, I don't buy it. My mom tried to commit suicide. She tried to overdose because she was so traumatized from the relationship. She endured that for 26 years. 26 years. It takes a lot of strength to endure narcissistic abuse for 26 years. Most victims end up killing themselves. And for unaware narcissists, that's the goal. That is the ultimate power. And that's really sad, but it is true. It is true. And I remember him standing over her in the hospital bed after having her stomach pumped and trying to be regulated. And she squirmed with so much. She couldn't talk. She couldn't really, she wasn't coherent or cohesive, but she knew she was unsafe. And watching him stand over her while she squirmed like that is a memory I will never forget, and I will never forgive him for. We cannot support people like this in this community. We are not trying to perpetuate these things. We're done with it. I dropped this generational curse. I have to work through it so that I can fully drop it, because it will not pass on. No. Done. But, yeah. I know that sharing trauma can be a lot, and being vulnerable can be a lot. I want people to know there are people out there that support you in your healing and that want to see you rise to the top. I want that for my fellow human being. I want my fellow human being to feel loved and supported. And I want them to carry that on to the people that they interact with. I know that there's not all good and all bad, but I know that you can make a conscious choice to improve the things that you need to improve on. But that first means accepting them as they are and as part of you. Running away from these things, coping with alcohol and drugs and things of that nature, it just holds it down until it's ready to come back up. I have now been 2 months away from my dad. I no longer am in contact with him. And I do not think I ever will be. I don't think that he has any intentions of changing, because this has worked for him his whole life. So, this is the result of trauma. When you have people that do not see their own worth, when you have people that toss themselves into things that are destructive and harmful, with my BPD, I have struggled through addiction. My brain has literally tried to kill me. And it's not like I could stop myself. It was literally like I'd be like, no, I don't need this, and then I'd put it in my mouth and then fucking take the drug. It's not okay. It's not self-preservation. You deserve preservation. Preserve your peace and your love inside. There are a lot of people that are hurting out there. One of my life goals is to become both a therapist and a spiritual guide to find a holistic solution to people that have endured these things. There's purpose in life. There's faith and hope in life. We have to look in the right places for it. And you know what? The crazy thing is, it is literally right in here. Literally, the fucking answer to happiness is freedom and in your heart. I hope that you find it and you find your own journey that helps you heal. Thank you if you are still here and listening. I'm going to probably be trying to post more videos talking about some DBT things, talking about some spirituality things, and it's just in an effort to raise awareness. Now, I am a novice and forever a pupil. I accept that I will never fully know anything. Even in 10,000 hours, there will always be something to learn. Maybe improving it, maybe refining it, but really it's about that search that you're looking for, the one for happiness, for fulfillment. It's all starts within you. And that creates the debate of, are we in a simulation or are we God, and things like that. Well, guess what? What you look for, you will find. Put on your glasses. It's time to wake up. You deserve a good life. I deserve a good life. Let's find it together. It's time to move forward with this. Let's not carry on things that are no longer serving us. Let's not blame our children for our financial issues when we spend $300 to $500 at a strip club so that we can stalk our wife. Let's not impose our will on other people. There is nothing more beautiful than an organic and genuine interaction. I currently self-isolate because I am so new in my diagnosis of borderline personality disorder that I'm trying to become aware. I am aware. Sometimes my actions are intentional, sometimes they're not. Very rarely are they purposefully antagonistic, because I do not believe in harming others. I would rather run away than lash out. Truly, 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 truly. When I split, it is a feeling that has to pass, and I have to find ways to deal with it. If this is something that resonates with you, please talk to me about it. Or talk to someone about it. Maybe a professional. Like, I want people to feel safe and whole. Authentically, I do. Genuinely, I do. It is why I have cultivated my personality around making people feel safe and secure, trying to help them talk through things. You can talk about things all day long, but until you start making action, I don't know. Anyways, this is just me trying to share my insight, what I've been working through. It may not be your journey. You may find things that you relate with, and you may find things that you don't. What I'm asking you to do is find some self-love right now. I'm here and I'm back. And I'm back with a purpose and a mission. It's not just to share information. It's to find connection and love. Because in life, those are the two wealths that surpass anything else that we can have in life. And that's what I believe. I just want you guys to know I'm here today because I have hope for our tomorrow. You take care of yourselves. Be safe. Be smart. Do the healing. Because I promise it's going to be worth it. It's not going to be easy, but nothing that worth it ever is.